Let's talk about the big story, of course. Bill Cosby free and back home at his home in Montgomery County. It was the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania that decided to overturn that conviction from 3 years ago. And they did it on a procedural reason, saying that the prosecutor should never have brought the case because he had a deal with the district attorney at the time. So our lawyer, Rocco Cipparone, is joining us right now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Karen. How are you?
Good. So he's freed but not cleared.
He is free but not cleared. This decision was, a lot of people are saying a technicality. It's not really a technicality. It was based on a constitutional deficiency in the proceedings where evidence was admitted that it should not have been and he shouldn't have been tried in the first place, but it does not clear him of liability, meaning it doesn't say he's innocent.
So it's interesting, on a different note, it's done for criminally, it's over right here in Pennsylvania, but could this be brought anywhere else, any of these other, because there were so many people that were involved with this case and certainly so many accusers. Could another state try him?
So assuming that the statute of limitations in any other particular state where there would be jurisdiction isn't expired, then yes, they could try him. This decision is only binding in Pennsylvania. It only relates to the one person, the one alleged victim here, Andrea Constand, and it doesn't have anything to do with the other alleged victims in the case. So anybody else is fair game as long as there's still statute of limitations time left.
It's interesting that Gloria Allred, obviously an attorney for 33 of the accusers of Cosby, said she can't do the criminal case, but that she was going to be doing a civil case out in Los Angeles.
Again, assuming Los Angeles has jurisdiction, this is only a criminal decision. It is limited to the context of the criminal case where the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania said that Cosby was denied due process and fundamental fairness because of the deal that Bruce Castor had made with him not to prosecute him, and because he relied on that in testifying in the prior civil case brought by Constand. But this doesn't stop Gloria Allred or any other persons from bringing a civil suit either.
So Bruce Castor at the time when this case came up didn't think that he could prosecute Cosby. Why was that? What was the reasons?
So the reasons that Castor articulated when he testified in the trial courts were that one, Constand had given inconsistent statements in the past. Two, that there was a delay in her reporting it. And nowadays, as opposed to what the law was back then and the perceptions were back then, that might be different. And three, because there wasn't corroborating evidence at the time, he didn't think he could prove the case. So he thought it would be better to help her along in the civil case by taking away Cosby's Fifth Amendment privilege so that he would testify in the civil case. That turned out to be detrimental to Cosby, and he ultimately settled the case for over $3 million.
Could any of the evidence, quickly, sorry, because we have to go, any of the evidence that came up in the trial, could that be used in a civil case?
The evidence that came up in the criminal trial potentially could be used in the civil case. There might be legal wrangling about that. But again, if Cosby didn't have a Fifth Amendment privilege, really the only evidence would be the depositions, and they are fair game for a civil case.
Wow, that's really interesting. All right, so they couldn't be used criminally, but they could be used maybe civilly. Rocco, thank you for your time and your insight. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You as well. All right, it is 5:52 on this Thursday morning, a Wawa Hoagie Day. We will have live reports on everything that's happening in our news and with the weather and with the good things too. Let's fly on into the next